Maybe women also now need to really sort of up their game and start approaching men.
Oh, really? You think so?
Yeah, I do think so. While I know that it doesn't fall into that trope of masculinity and femininity, we do need to put ourselves out there a little bit. But just think about it, right? So if you are at a party, which is the guy who's going to come up and talk to you? It's just the most confident, most cocky dude in the room. And there could be a whole bunch of really wonderful guys over there who don't have the guts to talk to you. And that's not their fault if that's just not their personality. So you end up talking to this cocky dude. He's going to be that guy in the relationship. When we wonder why we keep dating the same man over and over, it's because that's the only man that will come up to you to talk to you at a party because you're not talking to anybody else.
It feels really sad that I have to say this, but as Christian men and women, if you are married, there's no reason whatsoever that you should have a close personal relationship with somebody of the opposite sex. It's disrespectful. It's not living above reproach, which we're called to do as Christians. And 9 times out of 10, the other person is wanting to sleep. Somebody's wanting to sleep with somebody. And I know people are like, well, you can have platonic friends, that are the opposite sex. This screams insecurity. It's not insecurity. It's wisdom. Lust is one of the only things in the Bible that it says to flee from. Don't even mess with it, okay? You can have close friends, but a man pouring into you or a woman pouring into you should only be done by the person that you are in a marriage with.
I think modern women feel like men are here for their sole enjoyment, for their sole discretion. A lot of times these modern women, they'll do things, they'll make their choices, whatever you call it. And, he'll make his, right? He'll do whatever he thinks is best for him and she'll do whatever she thinks is best for her. Fine. Nobody has a problem with that. But you have to live with your actions and you have to be accountable. That's the part that modern women don't like. I want to be able to do what I want, act how I want, be who I want to be without any consequences, without having to be accountable. She's expecting the man at that point in time to come running back to her, or I come running back to you with open arms. You don't chastise me. You just look me in my eye and say, I understand. Here are all of your favorite snacks. I know you did me dirty, even after me saying stop, please, multiple times.
We are living in a time where women are asking men to increasingly be vulnerable, speak out about their emotions, but at the same time, women do not know how to handle a man's emotion. This dynamic can leave you feeling unheard, unseen, and it kind of reinforces the stereotype and the notion that is already existing in today's world that men's feelings do not matter. And when a man's feelings and emotions are discredited or not taken seriously, he ends up feeling emasculated in the relationship and not safe to open up further. This even causes a man to go into his avoidance style because he withdraws emotionally, he stops sharing his struggles, and even creates a protective barrier around him so that he can keep himself safe. And this happens at a very unconscious level.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. And a lot of modern women you'll find are really, unfortunately for them, undisciplined, very undisciplined. Say, for instance, she might, or he might have some friends. He keeps some friends, hey, let's go do this. Let's do it. Let's hang out, right? And I don't invite her because we're just friends. Hey, we're just going out to hang out. It's just me and the boys going to chill out, right? We ain't going to do nothing crazy. We're just going to chill out. Oh, well, you're not going to, where you going? And you got to answer all those questions. But when it comes time for you to go on a girls trip and you don't invite him, and he says, you never really invite me either. What are you guys doing? We ain't really doing anything. I need my space, boundaries. I got to have some sort of bodily autonomy and all that other stuff. So it's okay for you to quote unquote get your space and go on multiple girls' nights. But if that man, even God forbid, that man goes over another man's house, have a beer and play some games. God forbid these brothers have some fun without you. God forbid.
I just got off the phone with my younger brother. He has 2 of his guy friends coming to his apartment. They're going to practice a new recipe because one of these guys met a girl online dating and wants to make this recipe for her. And so they're all going to make it together and make sure it's good enough. are you kidding? Like, I know how it feels to think like all the good guys are gone. And these are 3 guys in their mid to late 30s that have great jobs. They are single, never been married, no kids, and they are looking for their wives.
Okay, ladies, so I guess the message is move to Austin. But no, the message is it only takes one. And the most important thing that you can be doing right now is to be open to love in your life in whatever way God provides it. We don't know the future. We don't even know if we're going to be here tomorrow. But what you do know is that you were created today to love and to be loved. Trust God, keep your chin up, have hope. God has a plan for you.
It's funny because modern women have this thing to where, say for instance, a man might, stop reciprocating, or he might kind of pull back. From the time that man starts pulling back to the time that she notices, it's going to be relatively quickly, unless she has somebody else. But when he pulls back, you can give him about a week. Oh, you're not doing what you used to. I don't know if we're going to make it. Because if a man can't show up like this for me consistently, never mind that you've been showing up for her left and right. The moment you stop showing up, even after you told her, hey, I just feel like I'm not getting anything out of you, she's going to be upset. I don't know if you're the man that I expect you to be. But on the other side, it's been months since she's shown any type of reciprocation. It's been months since she's taken any initiative, since she's done anything for you. But you're supposed to be okay with that because I'm just a girl. And, that's not really how it's supposed to be. A man's supposed to lead, and, you're supposed to wait on me, and I'm just going through something. It's not all about you. You need to worry about somebody else, and you need to have empathy, and so on and so forth. Instead of just saying, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I haven't been showing up for you like you've been showing up for me. I'll do better.
Women almost always move on faster, and most of them do. They tend to monkey branch from one relationship straight into the next because they already know exactly where they are headed. That other man has already positioned himself in her life, well before things are even officially over. She is already quietly preparing herself for him, losing weight, switching up her makeup, carrying herself differently, going out more frequently, making excuses, and suddenly becoming unavailable at the same time she used to always reach out. She already knows. She has already made up her mind about what is coming next. Women almost always move on at a much faster pace, but men without a doubt end up far happier in the long run. And this comes purely from my own personal observation. Men always come out on the other side significantly happier and more fulfilled than women do in the long run.
And a lot of these modern women, what they want, what their entitlement and their unrealistic standards is, they want a man who's finished. They want a man who's stable, right? I want a successful man. But what do you offer? Well, I can offer you confusion. I can offer you an attitude. I can offer you having to work hard the rest of your life and then be happy about it. That's what I can argue. That's what I can offer you. I can offer you at the most inconvenient times for you that I have a headache. My stomach hurts. A rat is underneath my armpit and won't come out. Just any excuse not to do what you've signed up and committed and promised to do. See, modern women don't really have a problem telling you and reminding you of the things that you promised. But when you say, okay, this is what you promised me. Yeah, but I'm not about to let myself be mishandled. Mishandled? How? Well, I just don't feel like it. And you trying to force me to do it. Well, modern women will figure out any way not to do what they're supposed to be doing, but hold you to what you said you would do.
Girls going down in the DM like that? Like a lot? Like a lot? I don't even know how to do, like, what do they say? Hey, hello?
The girls?
Yes.
They got all these little tricks. I don't know if you're interested in stuff like this, and then boom. I don't know if I should like it. Picture, videos.
Okay, without picture, if they're just trying to talk to you.
It's boring. This is 2025, girl. You gotta come in a DM strong.
I don't even know where I would begin.
So you're saying you have no game?
No, I have game, like, if we're already texting.
That's why the DM is only for a certain kind. It's ex-strippers, it's ones that need to pay their rent. They're fun girls. So when they come into the DM, it ain't no, hey, how you doing? It's, this is what I'm showing you.
Okay.
I've had DMs where the girl is performing on her boyfriend. You could be him. I mean, you are kind of talented, you know? Like.
So I honestly think up until this point, modern women have been real clear about the stuff that they do and they don't want, right? Well, I don't want this part of tradition, but I do want this part of tradition over here. And consequently, it seems to always be the part of tradition that benefits you the most. Interesting. And they're dishonest about, well, you know, that's misogynistic. So what they do, knowing that they have to sacrifice, knowing that they would have to work and reciprocate, they just say, well, everything the man wants is misogynistic. So we can't, I mean, you wouldn't want to do that anyway because the patriarchy hurts you. Now, I get it. I understand it. You talk about the patriarchy, talking about the system. There are some parts of the system that as a man, it hurts you too. Got it. Understand it. I agree. But why is it that nothing in the system that you want hurts you? When it comes to the stuff that you want, and it's a part of the patriarchy, it's a part of the old system, that's healthy. We need to keep on doing that. Those are the things that we need to keep. But when it comes to what a man wants, you see, it's just ingrained in you. You're a bad person. You can't do anything about it. We have to train you. We as a society, we as women have to train that up out of you. It's the patriarchy, man. You gotta get that out of you.
Women are failing men. Ladies, the reason that no man is approaching you is because of you, not them. I did the dirty work and asked men why they were afraid to talk to you and got over 5,000 responses. And there was definitely a common theme. Let's read some. I would say fear of rejection and being humiliated in front of everyone. I am not worthy enough to talk to women. I just have nothing to offer them except boring, normal life. Rejection paralyzes me. Current culture feels like I will be perceived as a creep for talking to a girl I don't know. Mostly it's the fear of rejection, like I'm bothering them somehow. Rejection maybe, ending up on TikTok if you get my drift. Worried about being judged for not meeting the woman's appearance standards. So to the ladies, do better. The environment that you've created for men is only leading to the singleness that you continue to complain about. And to the men, maybe knowing that these responses were a trend amongst 5,000 of you is a bit reassuring, if anything.
You can't have a growing marriage and an overly busy life. Because love doesn't grow in chaos, it grows in calm. When your days are packed from sunrise to bedtime, when every ounce of energy is spent on work, kids, errands, and everyone else's needs, your marriage starts to live on leftovers. But love requires presence. Real connection happens in the quiet in-between moments. The look across the table, the unhurried conversations before bed, the simple act of putting your phone down and listening. And presence takes space. You have to make room for it. You have to protect it. Say no to something so you can say yes to your marriage. Because the truth is, you cannot pour into your marriage when you are running on empty. Slow down, breathe, make space for each other. That's where love grows.
A lot of these modern women make dating impossible, right? I think men just get tired of doing everything on the date, having to plan it. You know, if you're not careful with a lot of these modern women, you can end up being 10, 15 years into the relationship and you've been pretty much doing everything. Pretty much. I plan the dates. I cook, I clean, I go to work, take care of the kids. I'm involved. I mean, I might not do every single thing, but I have my hand in every single part of the relationship. Cooking, cleaning, taking out the trash, fixing the cars. You take the kids to soccer practice, I take the kids to soccer practice too. You cook dinner, I cook dinner too. Take the kids to doctor's appointments and keep them when they're sick, I do the same thing. So there's a lot of men out there that while these modern women are saying that men are not involved, they actually are. In a lot of ways, they're actually more involved than the woman is. And when you bring that to her attention, she's like, yeah, actually, that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be doing way more work than me. What? Yeah, you're the leader of the home. So you do way more work than me. That gives me time to be free and be creative. Right. But what are you doing in your time of being creative? I'm creatively selecting more shows to watch. I'm creatively trying to figure out how to make your life harder.
Hey ladies, let's talk about dating at 40 plus. The rules are different because everyone has potential, but it's not about who they could be. It's about who they've chosen to be at this age. If they've never been committed, if they've never been married, that's a pattern. So unless he was in a coma all these years and he just woke up, this is no longer about confusion. It's about intentional avoidance. So stop calling him a late bloomer. Stop spiritualizing it. I know you're romanticizing it, and you got to stop because some men have made it a full-time job to avoid all types of commitment. And if you're over here giving him all of your time and your hope, thinking that you're going to finally be the one that he commits to, you're probably going to be disappointed. Meanwhile, there's all kinds of men that you're ignoring that are ready, that have done the work, that know how to choose, but they don't trigger your fixer instincts, so you're not interested in them. Remember, dating is always an audition, and this guy has been dodging the job for 20 years because he doesn't want it. So pay attention to his resume. I'd rather see you with a 42-year-old divorced dad of 2 than a 50-year-old guy who just hasn't found the one yet.
I think also what you see in today's society is how fearful a lot of these shows have made young ladies. A lot of things that they say in society, well, watch out for this, don't go over here, don't do that. And specifically, be afraid of men, be afraid of men. And so a man is just walking around minding his business. He's not really doing anything. But because society has mentioned to a lot of these young ladies, hey, this is the way that men are. This is what you can expect from a man. There has been no time in history where a man has been nice to a woman. He's always used her for X, Y, and Z. So always be fearful. Always look out for yourself, which, I mean, honestly, you should be looking out for yourself anyway. So I understand it. But the way that people are making it seem is that all men are criminals. And a man is saying, I would never even do that. That has nothing to do with me. The vast majority of men, statistically speaking, are not doing any weird stuff. They're not involved in any criminal behavior. And I guess now, talking about it, weird is subjective, right? But they're not doing anything that's, really honestly and truly criminal, right? Literally. But this is what men are being treated like. And you're wondering why men don't approach. Is because whether subtly or outright, you're treating me like I'm a criminal.
Ask and you shall receive. Here's part 2 of my hot takes, dating editions for the guys. Let's get into it. Number 1, if she only texts you when she's bored, congratulations. You're not her man's. You're her entertainment system. I just hate to break it. Number 2, if a girl ever says, I'm just not ready for a relationship right now, but she's still dating you, that just means she's not ready for a relationship with you, my guy. Number 3, if you have to beg for basic respect, that's not love. That's a hostage negotiation. Number 4, if she's constantly testing you to see how much you'll put up with and tolerate, you're not a boyfriend, you're a science experiment. Number 5, if she only starts to act right when you start to pull away, that's not love, that is panic. Okay, and I don't want to hear any, oh, but she's no. A little bonus tip, dating the right woman will bring peace to your life, not confusion. So if dating her feels like a full-time job, you need to clock out. Say all of this with love. Love you guys.
A lot of these modern women, whether you're a single mother or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all going to be the same, right? It's just that a lot of times single mothers they're a little bit more, some of these women, not all women, but some of these women, they're a little bit more, they have a heightened, and I understand it, a heightened awareness of the things that are going on around them, right? But even at that, you still have to audition for the man as well. A lot of times a lot of these modern women are like, well, a man has to audition for me. He has to do X, Y, and Z. He has to show me this, and this. And sometimes they be asking a man to do stuff that has nothing to do with dating or courting or anything. That's just what I wanted, right? So you have a lot of modern women out here. Well, I got to make sure that this is in line, and I'm a single mother, so I have standards, and my standards are even higher, and this and that. But really, honestly and truly, and this is why I mention it, you look at their standards, and really it's not really a higher standard. Sometimes it's just desperation. Sometimes it's just, I really need this. I really want this in my life. I really don't want to work anymore. Right? So I need a man to make enough so I can take a step back. Well, do you plan on having any other kids? No. Well, what step back are you going to be taking? You don't plan on having any other kids. That's your kid. He'll come in and be a father figure and be the man of the house. He doesn't need to pay for you. You don't need to become a stay-at-home mom. But they be asking for things. They be, I want more from this next relationship. And they be trying to put more pressure on a man to do stuff that they can actually do themselves. If they stop being lazy or stop wanting to be mentally lazy. Well, I want to do this now. No. You need to continue the stuff that you are doing and stop trying to find a man to dump all your problems on, whether it's financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You need to continue to handle your business.
Petty, but if you go 50-50 on groceries with your male partner that you live with, have you ever noticed how much more they eat than you? Have you ever noticed that you cook more than them too? Is that really 50-50?
Okay, if you want to go there, a lot of women use more heating than men, so the gas bill. Women tend to take longer in the shower because of their hair. It takes longer to wash it, more water bill. Some women wear more delicate fabrics that might require more washing machine loads. Also, women tend to have more beauty products than men, so it takes up more space, hence more organizational costs, cabinet costs. Or if she styles her hair, that's a hair dryer, a curling iron, any other thing that requires electricity to turn on. Also, women love to decorate and seasonal decorations. That requires space costs, as well as the cost of the actual items. Also, for some women, the way they eat is a little bit more expensive. Fresh fruit, specialty items. For a lot of men, their diets tend to be a little bit more simple. Also, he's usually required to pay for the dates you guys go on.
And the thing about divorce, it really, and honestly, truly, in any situation, it's going to be, in a lot of situations, it's going to be rough. Now you're taking, even with two people coming to the table and wanting it to be an amicable split, you're taking that and magnifying it times 1,000 with modern women. They don't want the split to be amicable. They want the split to be you suffering, you going through it, you having a terrible time, you struggling all for the rest of your life. That's what they're looking for. They want a man to be so down low, to struggle, to have a terrible time. That's what modern women are looking for when they say commitment. You struggle because you're the man. You have a terrible time because you're the man. It's you. Now, see, that's what Kevin Samuels was saying. Y'all looking for a man to just hop up and run downstairs when something goes bump in the night. You do it. You're the man. But when the man comes back and says, thank God there was nothing down there, I'm going back to bed. You got to feed this baby. Well, I was downstairs making sure that the house was secure. You can feed the baby. Oh, well, you a deadbeat dad. I'm a single mother. You see how that works? All of a sudden now I'm not contributing. All of a sudden now I'm trash. All of a sudden now I'm not a good man. Because I did my job. Well, there wasn't nothing down there. There wasn't nothing down there right now. Let's say for the sake of argument, there was something down there. Now I gotta fight off every criminal, whoever it is, whatever tools I use, I gotta fight them off. And then you want me to come upstairs. Okay, now feed the baby, change the baby's diaper. I'm going back. I'm going to bed. I'm going back to sleep. They want you to do all the work. You take care of the kids. You make sure the house is clean. You make sure the dinner's cooked. You make sure the kids, their homework is done. Make sure their doctors, all that stuff. And do it the way that I tell you to do it. I'm your manager now. Look at me. I'm the captain now. That's what they're looking for. I'm looking to do nothing. I'm not even going to be a good captain. I just said I'm the captain. That's how modern women.
Why do good men cheat? They say it's because men are weak, selfish, greedy.
Most of the time, it's not because they stopped loving their woman.
Then what?
It's because home stopped feeling like home.
What does that even mean? I cook, I clean, I do everything.
I'm not talking about chores. I'm talking about energy.
Energy?
The way you look at him when he walks in, the tone of your voice, whether he feels wanted or tolerated. When a woman feels chosen every day, she stays.
And men?
When a man comes home to peace, respect, and desire, he stays too. Not because he promised, because his nervous system does.
So you're blaming women?
No, I'm explaining patterns.
Then why do men pull away?
Because home becomes stress, not rest. He gets criticized. His wins feel small. Silence becomes punishment. So he stays out longer.
So it's my fault?
It's not about fault. It's about cause and effect.
And when he looks at other women?
That starts when he feels unwanted, unneeded, like a burden.
So love isn't enough?
Love is emotional. Attachment is biological. What keeps it alive is feeling chosen, respected, safe at home.
And if that dies?
People don't leave suddenly. They detach slowly.
7 things a godly wife does without being asked. Number 1, she prays for him regularly. Covering him in prayer strengthens his spirit and anchors your marriage in God. Number 2, she speaks words of life. Her tone and words reflect respect, even when she disagrees. She builds, not breaks. Number 3, she protects her marriage with boundaries. Number 4, she listens to understand, not to win an argument. She creates space for honest conversation and emotional connection. Number 5, she supports his leadership. A godly wife doesn't compete with her husband. She helps him complete the mission that God gave him by affirming him and supporting his God-given role. Number 6, she initiates intimacy and affection. She pursues connection, not just in words, but in loving closeness. And number 7, she honors him publicly and privately. Her loyalty and tone demonstrate her honor for him, even when no one else is looking. A godly wife is a crown to her husband, not because she's perfect, but because she strives to walk in what God has called her to do.
If you're a guy who's going out and regularly approaching women, I want you to do this, and that's stop putting expectation or an outcome on the approach. So when you walk up and approach somebody, you don't walk up thinking, I gotta get a date. I gotta get this person attracted to me. Literally, when I walk up and talk to somebody, I have no expectation. I have no outcome. Usually the only thing going on in my head is like, hey, I'm gonna see if this person's cool, or I have a thought or something funny I wanted to say. That's it. Anything more than that is gonna lead to you being disappointed. When I hear guys come to me and they say, oh, I've tried everything. I've tried approaching and it didn't work. And I'm like, well, how many people did you talk to? And they're like, oh, I probably approached 20 people. I'm like, 20 people in your life? That probably took 20 and you think that that's it? Dude, I talk to 20 people a day. Starting more conversations will lead to things and then you get better and better at it. But if you've only talked to 20 women in your entire life or approached 20 women in that way, obviously, you're going to think this shit don't work. Anybody would do that, would think that doesn't work. So going in without expectation not only makes you more attractive, but it's more likely that you're going to be able to put in the numbers that's actually going to lead to success. And no, it doesn't take that much time. An approach or in a conversation doesn't take that much time. I can have 20 conversations today and still be fine.
are born and stay loving women. They love us. They need us. And they're not trying to not need us. Now there's some groups way over the edge now of men trying to not need women. But it's because they've had the same kind of frustration in getting what they need from us. But normal, ordinary, born loving women, born wanting to protect women, born wanting to provide for women. But it goes awry because they protect us the way they see that we need to be protected. And that can make us really angry. I can do that myself, right? So we have a reaction to what they perceive needs to be protected about us, which is another thing to align on in a marriage. Honey, this is what I need to be protected from. Mostly we need to be protected from ourselves, from the critical voice in our own heads that pipes up whenever he doesn't act the way we expect him to. Well, that's because he doesn't love you, and he doesn't love you because you're too this. You're not enough that. Right? So we need to be protected from that. So
chivalry is not just only in Australia, and don't come for me for saying that. I was approached by a woman in the gym today because she liked my set. Guys, this is a brand new piece, very cute. She approached me and she was like, where are you from? And I said, Australia, Queen. And she's just like, oh my God, I want to live in Australia, be the best. Dating here is terrible. And I was just like, oh, you silly sausage. In Australia, it's worse. Like, I moved to the Middle East for a reason. I want a more traditional man. I want someone who values taking care of a lady and who knows how to take care of a lady. And the look in her face, guys. I hated breaking her dreams, but I told her still to go. You go, we're not going to, I don't know, ick somebody's yum, right? So she is on her way to Australia, I would say. She will make the decision. By the way, I love being a woman and how women treat each other in bathrooms. It's so nice. But yeah, what a fun fact. I can't believe she views Australian men like that. They're so lazy, guys. Like, they're just... I once went on a date with a guy who didn't even wear shoes for the date. I've paid, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like the man. Australian men, I'm sure it's not all of them, but the ones that I've come across, I'm not looking for a girlfriend.
What happened to men pursuing girls? I'm getting the feeling that some aren't going to like my answer to this one. When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore and put in any effort? It wasn't really a pivotal moment. More a convergence of a bunch of different moments and opinions expressed by a lot of women, specifically on social media, indicating that they not only don't need men, but in point of fact, they don't want them. And men paid attention. It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. But what even is the bare minimum? There are so many different opinions and standards out there that it would be almost impossible for the average guy to keep up with what is expected. But they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? And what would be so wrong with that? That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore, don't care to put in effort. Let's get right down to it. A lot of men aren't putting forth a lot of effort anymore when it comes to dating because they don't receive any appreciation whatsoever. And a lot of them are tired of being used. There are a lot of things that are expected of men in society, but yet they very rarely receive any thanks for anything that they do. I mean, would you put forth extra effort if you never received any thanks either?
The biggest tip that I give to husbands is when you come home from work, and even if she was also out at work, doesn't matter. These things are inescapable. A man feels beaten down by life, and he walks through the door, and he attempts to take emotional comfort from his wife. As much as she will try to provide it, it will not work, because that is not how masculine and femininity interact. I tell men, if you want emotional currency, if you want to receive emotional energy from your wife, only way to properly get it in a way that is respectful to both of your inherent roles is that you, the male, invest in her first. And what that means, very, very simple terms, I tell men, even if you come home and you're beaten down by life, walk over to her and make a deposit. an emotional deposit. And the beauty of it is she takes everything you put into her and she infinitely upgrades it. So you don't have to give her a lot. You can give her 30 seconds of sustained eye contact and genuine interest where the phone is off. And if you just give her that deposit, you give her that emotional energy, she gets filled up with that. She becomes pregnant with that, and then she'll turn around, she'll give birth to infinitely more emotional energy, which will sustain the relationship and which will give you, the man, that emotional connection that you want. But the mistake that a lot of men make is they approach their wives as takers, and then everybody's frustrated and disappointed and heartbroken. But if a man can be the initiator, then everyone will be happy. And that's what works.
Girls are not that hard to impress. You are just not impressive. Here are 5 things that men do that turn women on, and most of you do not qualify. Number 1 is be decisive. If you're asking, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Every 5 minutes, that's why she's bored. Pick something. Lead. It's really not that hard. Oh, you want to go on a date with me? Then plan a date. I remember I matched with this guy on Cuffed, and he literally messaged me being like, hey, I really want to go to this place at 7 o'clock. Do you want to come? I almost fainted. A man making a plan for the first time? Yes, please. Number 2 is having a life outside of the girl. The most attractive men are not waiting around every single day waiting for a girl to respond to them. They're busy. That's why girls chase them. Number 3 is staying calm instead of being emotional. You're supposed to be a man, not a crybaby. The second you start overreacting, getting jealous, getting mad, yeah, attraction, gone. Be like a man, not like a giant mood swing. Number 4 is being protective, not possessive. If another man is getting all up in her face and you're just standing there watching, yeah, that's noted. We should be able to grab your arm and feel safe and protected and be taken care of. Also, if you're jealous for no reason, also a turn off. Be a little confident, why don't you? Number 5 is making her feel replaceable but choosing her anyways. Now this is gonna hurt some feelings. The man knows he has options but still picks you. That's the one the girls always want, they always go for, they always chase. If no one wants you, clearly it's for a reason. And no, it's not toxic, it's called standards. A lot of men think that women want perfect. No, we don't want perfect. We know you're not gonna be perfect. Nobody's perfect. We just want a man who we can respect and who respects us.
The average lady does not understand what it means to be a wife. Have you realized when we have most ladies who speak on marriage, it's normally based on their own experience, not ideally what marriage and the institution of marriage is about. So let's say we have a divorcee who is bitter and who starts saying bad things about marriage. They come to social media, they use their platforms and they start saying men are this, men are that. And what does it do to the average young lady who is still looking forward towards marriage? They become indoctrinated with these bad doctrine that come from these bitter old women, and they start treating men in a certain way. So already the lady is going into marriage protecting herself, selfish, thinking about herself, thinking about how can I best benefit from this marriage as a lady. You get? So already we have women who are going into marriage with the wrong mentality. So it is needed for another voice to be raised by God to come and correct the indoctrination that most women are under. It's delusion. It's delusion to think that as a lady, the only thing you are there to get from a man is a ring and provision, but you don't see your impact and the role that you need to play as a wife. Yeah.
Are you married?
Not as yet.
You have a lot of these modern women that, quite frankly, and this is why a lot of men are really, it'd be one thing if you were saying, I want to be selective with the people that I date, right? And you should be 100%. But some of these modern women, they don't have any, they're talking about wanting to be courted. And it's funny because they talk about that, but then they don't have any etiquette. Well, a man should do this. I believe a man should do that. Well, a man has gotten this, and this. But when you get on that date, you're ordering the most expensive thing. You're ordering, you go to a restaurant, you go to Chili's, it don't matter. You go to Chili's, you're ordering the most expensive thing on the menu. Now, mind you, you go to Chili's, you're probably the most expensive thing on the menu is $30. You know, so you go to Chili's, you're probably getting off pretty easy. But the point is, you're going, that's your behavior. You're going for the most expensive thing. If I go into the store, I'm going for the most expensive thing. If I go into Coach, if I go into Louis V, I'm going for the most expensive thing. There's plenty of bags in the middle. There's plenty of options, clothing, shoes, sandals, whatever you want, perfume, name it, whatever you want. Right there in the middle to where you don't got to go all the way to the top and you can get something nice. I guarantee you're going to spend the bag. When you go into LV, you're going to spend the bag one way or another. One way or another. And there's some nice stuff in there. And instead of going for, oh, this is nice, let's do something that's budget conscious. Modern women do not have that same level of thinking, especially when it's not their money. Well, they have it when it's their money. But when it comes to a man, oh, well, he just expected to pay. And even if a woman would say, well, I don't want to run him dry, I really like this guy. She goes back into the group chat is going to tell her, because they don't have any etiquette either. That's what a man is supposed to do. I was looking at Sex and the City reruns. That is what he's supposed to do. Do that. Mind you, they're single. They're single. No hope. Getting pumped and dumped by Chad and Tyrone every single day. But this woman is trying to get in good with this man, and this is what they're telling her. And sometimes a woman can fix it, because she'll go in there, a man will take her shopping, and she'll be like, can I get this? And he'll be like, okay. And she's like, I don't know. I really don't want to take advantage of you. And somehow, some way, they have an honest conversation about what they want to be, who they want to be, and the type of couple that they want to grow into or morph into. And they get things fixed and straight. But that happens by communication, right? But once again, modern women have to get away from that bogus group of friends that they have, that bogus environment, those surroundings. I don't care if you come from lower class, middle class, or upper class. These modern women don't know how to act. They don't know how to conduct themselves. And you hanging out with them is going to land you in an environment of being single and lonely forevermore.